42,562 miles. All right, I usually will have a whole bunch of notes for this and for this 40,000 mile video, but time got away from me again this week. So I said, I'm just gonna talk about this as if somebody saw my car and saw me in the parking lot and asked me, well, how do you like that car? How many miles you got on it? How has it treated you? So let's get this out of the way for the very beginning. Car has been uneventful as far as breaking down or leaving me stranded on the side of the road. Has it happened? I've road tripped it. A lot of times, more than 2 hours, 4-hour road trips, mountain runs, autocrosses. Still haven't got to get on the track yet. Hopefully at the end of the year I can get on an actual road course, get on like Road Atlanta or something. But been autocrossing it, been mountain roading it, been spirited driving, you know, the occasional road race. I'm not really into the road racing, but occasional road race. Then basically nothing. So the short version, 40,000 miles. I think I'm 42,000 to be exact right now, nothing. All right, well, okay, let's talk about the maintenance. I got the car, if you've been following me, I got the car at like 16,000 miles and 1 year old back in 2017. So I've had the car almost 2 years. In December will be 2 years for me. So a little over a year, well, almost 2 years. And I changed the oil as soon as I got it at 16,000 miles. And I've been changing the oil about every 5,000 to 6,000 miles since. And if we do a little bit of math, I think I'm probably just gonna put that up on the screen. And you'll see that's about all I really had to do to the car is these oil changes. Like required maintenance is the oil changes. Now, being me, I did a little more than that. If you've already followed me, you know I changed all my differentials fluids out. So front diff, transfer case, and rear diff, I changed all those out at like 30,000 miles. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it's my highly recommend that you do that. But so that was a expense, but not much. I mean, I did it myself, and well, we're talking about like $10 a bottle for fluid, maybe $3 of diff fluid. I mean, $30 of diff fluid, and another $12 of Matic S transmission fluid to put in the transfer case. So what, cost me about 40, maybe $50. You add the little pump to pump the fluid in. So around 50 bucks of maintenance there. I mean, can't beat that on a luxury car. I mean, I don't know how many people driving German cars can say this. I mean, I've had 40,000 miles and I've probably some hundreds of dollars in oil changes and the fluid. That's like been the major maintenance. I changed the brake pads once so far. If you've seen it point to any of my other videos, you know I'm a fan of Duralast Max pads. Those are about $60, $70 for the front and maybe $50 for the rear. So that I did. So you count that, that's a little about another $120 in maintenance over 2 years added on. I'm trying to think of any other maintenance that I did. That's it, maintenance wise. That's all I've done. And really, if I didn't have my driving style, I wouldn't have to do the differential, and I probably would still be on the same stock pads. I've been a little unlucky with tires though. If you can see in the background, if you can, I don't know if you can, but those are different tires than what I had on in my last videos. I usually run Federal tires. They've been great tires. They seem to not get punctures in them, which is real weird. So I'm hoping I had the same luck with these. But I usually run the Federal 959 Evos in 255, 35, 19. So now I'm running the Continental Extreme Contact DWS 06, the new version of it. And I thought I was gonna be a big drop off in grip from my Federals, because my Federals were basically summer only with some wet traction. And these are all seasons, but surprisingly, those tires have held up to my last mountain run, and I was surprised. So I'm happy about that. But how I lost my tires with a bad alignment, I guess I knocked the alignment out. My front right tire hit a pothole, and I guess it wasn't tight enough, so the tie rods weren't tight enough, so it knocked out alignment, and then it ate up my two front tires. I might have a picture of that, I'll show it. It was crazy. So I ended up just swapping over to those and then selling my other two Federals. So to offset the cost of those tires. So not too bad. That's about my only bad luck with the car. The infamous belt thing, I never got bit by that. And I have a 16, and my car was one of the cars in the technical service bulletin VIN range. So the dealer just gave me a new belt. My belt never popped or anything, but I guess I was lucky. But I have a OEM belt on there, and they did whatever adjustment that they said it was gonna do. They did it free of charge. And then I did the ECU recall update. It makes the transmission and the ECU communicate better, because it wasn't going to throw a check engine light if the transmission failed for some reason. So that's why it was an official recall, because they consider that safety. So if it's not going to throw a check engine light when it's supposed to, that's a safety issue. So that's why they had to do a actual full recall. But they fixed the communication, and I like the car shifts even better after the recall. So I'll take it. I'm trying to think, is any other, like I said, no issues. The seats I've held up, and I drive my car every day. The seats don't have any cracks in it. The seats aren't feeling weird. The seats were stiffer when I first got the car, but I guess because when I got my car 1 year old with 16,000 miles, I don't think whoever had my car really drove it, because my seats felt like that stiff new. But after 40,000 miles, the seats have broken in, and very, very comfortable on trips. I have no complaints. I feel refreshed when I get out of the car. And then just to throw in this, a little plug for DAS. I like DAS, direct adaptive steering, for people who don't know what I'm talking about. Going to drive in these road trips with DAS, it's a breeze. So I like that. I haven't had no problems with DAS like overheating or acting funny when I do all my autocross or mountain runs. It's just great on the turns, because it's so quick. If you've seen my DAS video, check it out. But like I said, the only negative about DAS would be, DAS is as good as your tires. So that's basically all I can say. The better your tires, the better DAS feels. Infotainment wise, after 40,000 miles, I don't know, like I said before in the previous video, I might be dating myself. I'm not that old. I know I don't look that old, but the infotainment doesn't ever get on my nerves. I've updated the navigation system to the latest map, which is like a late 2018 map that's out right now. I think it's like, the date was 9/2018 for when it came out. So I have that map, updated it was quick. It has a better SD card. If you check out my navigation update video, you'll see, it has a class 10 SD card, so the navigation works a little faster, noticeably faster. So if you get your navigation updated, you'll notice an improvement in speed of the navigation system. I know a lot of y'all just hate the navigation system of Infiniti, but I think it's just fine. And I don't like, you know, in Georgia, you can't have your phone in your hand. And if you're even looking down at your phone, or I think you get one press by law, but the cop's gonna pull you over anyway. So I just use the navigation to avoid the whole thing. Like I said before, my older videos, my only real complaints about the car is still just the trunk. I think it should have been a soft close trunk instead of just a regular trunk with the shocks on it. The trunk is small. It's, well, not tiny, but it doesn't have any height on the trunk. It's just in like one side of the trunk has some height. So packing a little taller things in, you know, that's a little bit of an issue. But if you brought this car, you got it because of the sportiness of it, not really for the trunk. So you probably don't care anyway. Oh, and it doesn't have a spare tire. That's something that I still haven't brought a spare tire for the car. Because like I said, in general, I don't drive this car more than 100 miles in one trip. Only on those, only a couple of times so far. So I'm not really worried about that. And I gotta fix a flat, little spray thing. I don't know if it's gonna work, but like I said, I had those Federals, they seem to never get a hole in them. So I hope these Continentals do that, because I haven't had to change a flat tire in years. Now watch, I have to change a flat tire because I just said this junk on video. Damn, I shouldn't have said that on video. Oh well. But yeah, I haven't had to change a flat tire in years, so hopefully that continues. Anything else with the car? 40,000 miles. I'm not tired of the car yet, surprisingly. I'm not tuned, but I have down pipes and wide pipe, and then the drop-in air filters. So I got a little more power out of the car, and it has been satisfying so far, being untuned. And I'm still not sure if I want to tune the car, and if I do tune the car, it'll only be to 18 pounds. That's it. That's because that's give you technical thing. When I saw the turbos diagram, its efficiency diagram, I saw it's really only efficient up to 18 pounds. After that, you just create a whole bunch of heat, and so I wouldn't. That's just the engineer in me. I won't take it past 18 pounds. And you saw Infiniti put it at 15 pounds or 14.7, whatever it is. And they put it right up under the efficiency range. That's how they can give you a 70,000 mile warranty on the engine, because they not maxing out the turbo. So if you're wondering, speaking of engine and stuff, so transmission, like I said before, it's not the fastest shifting transmission, but it dang sure ain't slow shifting. And what people seem to get confused is the transmission shifts based on what you're doing with the throttle. So if you're pitter-pattering around town and use anything probably up under 50% throttle, it's gonna do a slow shift. That's what it's gonna do. That's how it's programmed. But if you get on it, it's gonna shift fast. So make sure you understand how the transmission is working before you just say it shifts slow. I've drove the dual clutch transmission. That transmission is, as far as upshifting, it's decent. It just can't compete with a dual clutch on a downshift. So that's all I can say about that. But so in 40,000 miles, I haven't had no transmission problems. But when I did get my alignment, the rear seal on my transmission looked like it was leaking. But it was dry. So I saw a little line coming down. I think I have some video of it. If not, I might just get a picture. I might get a picture of it. But it has a little line going down it, but it's dry. So either that's been there for a long time or it leaked one time or something and never did it again. I don't know. I'll eventually bring it to the dealer, but since it's not actively leaking, I haven't really been pressing about getting it done, and the transmission shift's perfect still. So, but I'm gonna go bring it to the dealer. My local dealer, unfortunately, is not the best. So if my local dealer was good, I would already brought it there. So I'm end up gonna have to drive, up to Atlanta. I live about an hour and a half south from Atlanta, so I'm probably gonna have to make that drive and bring it up to my old Infiniti dealer and let them work on it. But I just haven't got the car up there yet. And it's not leaking, so it's not that much of a concern to me. or it stopped leaking, that might be the better thing to say. So, other than that, the car has been great. Like, if you're on the fence and worrying about the VR30 engine breaking down or something on you, I hate what I'm about to say, but I didn't really see many red sports just breaking down, at least stock red sports breaking down. So if you're on the fence about the car, stock red sport, keep it stock, enjoy the almost 400 horsepower to the wheels. You ain't gonna have no problems. It's not until you start pushing those little baby turbos that you start having any type of issue. And it's because the turbos are small. Like I said, they were designed for 18 pounds. So once you see 18 pounds, you're stressing the turbos. And that's why a lot of people will offset that with the blow-off valves, to try to relieve that pressure off the turbos, or you'll see they blowing some turbo seals or something like that, and they smoking all the smoke coming out of their car because the oil is seeping through the turbo somehow. Usually it's because they're running a whole bunch of boost. Some people got defects, but it's usually they running a whole bunch of boost and they blowing a seal. So, but if you're not doing nothing like that, the car so far has been bulletproof. I feel like it's like my G37 with the VQ37 VHR. I mean, it starts up every day. I go pound on it and I drive back home. That's how it's been for almost the past 2 years. And that's how my G37 was. And I guess that's why I'm a repeat buyer. And with that, that's my 40,000 mile recap. I'll see y'all. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe.